What's good, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? JDaisy here with the JDaisy Gaming Channel. Here with Podcast 3. We're 3 for 3. We're doing pretty good on a series. And you know what episode we have to do this week. This is the E3 episode. We're going to go over, just going to kind of glance online, see what games actually released at E3. Because I kind of forget. This year's E3, there was really nothing that, I don't want to say this popped out. Nothing that really got me overly hyped, especially at, like Bethesda's. It was just like, shrug, why are we doing this again? It's just kind of the same stuff, just with 2 marked to the end of it. There's a few things that, I'm kind of excited for, but nothing crazy. This isn't going to be in order of what they showed at the conference. I just looked up, what games were released by uh, um, the company during their conference. We're gonna go over Ubisoft, we'll go over EA, we'll go over Sony, we'll go over Bethesda, and we'll go over the PC gaming show. So of course, Far Cry 5 was at Ubisoft. It looks like it's not taking itself too seriously this year or this generation, which I'm all right with. It looks like they're trying to, if we take it less seriously, it won't be as controversial. It won't be people up in arms as well, which I'm okay with. But honestly, the gameplay they showed kind of looked not cartoony, just kind of like shit to me. Just kind of nothing. Maybe it was just too colorful, or maybe just because I was watching on a different screen on a screen. I don't know. It didn't really jump out to me either. I will be playing the game, of course. It's a Far Cry game, but it just didn't jump out at me, I guess. We also had Mario plus Rabbids Night Kingdom Battles. That had Hiroshima Hiroshima. Japanese guy created Mario. I don't follow Nintendo very well. I could point him out of a crowd. He came out and introduced this. It's like a Rabbids Mario, fucking strategy game, I guess. I don't know. It was like their lead thing, and it was very weird and very confusing. Assassin's Creed, not Unity, Assassin's Creed Origins. They showed a lot of gameplay of that. A lot of gameplay of it. It looks good, but at the same time, it looks like another Assassin's Creed game, and it just looks like it's going to have the same issues Unity and Syndicate had, and it's just, tagging's still a thing, and I hate tagging in video games, but that's still a really big thing, so that sucks, because it would be kind of cool if they put out a game where you couldn't tag and you weren't an immortal god, and you actually had to try, but no. What else? Crew 2, which don't care, because Crew 1 burned me. With DLCs, hopefully they learn from Crew 2, Fractured Butthole. That'll be put off another 3 years. We'll come back to that one. Beyond Good and Evil, that's kind of what people are saying took the entire showcase, and it looked really good. I never played the first one, but everyone's saying that this was the game that won E3, and I will say the people I was watching with were uber excited to be seeing this, and I kind of was, not so crazy just because I never played the first one. Steep's getting a DLC. No one really cared. Starlink, a company or a game that's already failed before it starts. This is like a fucking Switch build on top of your heavy controller game that's already failed. It's of course Just Dance was there. Yeah, the game I was saying we'll come back to, that was at Skull and Bones. Now, as somebody that has a very deep-seated love for sailing ships, and especially tall sailing ships, this game looks like shit to me. Oh god, does it just look bad. It's like, hey, do you like Assassin's Creed 4 8 years ago? Well, hey, here's a game that's not really accurate, and we got rid of all the actual walking around your ship and the actual combat and just made this, and it's multiplayer, and it'll be transaction, and it's so inaccurate it hurts Justin's brain, but it looks pretty, so play it. Made me very mad the second I saw it. Made me very mad. On to EA. They had a more it's EA, so they do a lot of weird sports stuff, which everyone always knows they're gonna do. So we're all kind of excited, we all kind of expect it, and we sit there quietly until they give us something we actually care about. So of course, Madden, and FIFA, and was it Need for Speed Payback, and stuff like that. Stuff that really the people there didn't care about. They came out and did a weird thing with like Battlefield 1 where they apologized that it wasn't doing as well as they expected, so that was weird. Um, this game called A Way Out, which I didn't get this from the conference, but I've heard that people are saying that you're only going to be able to play it with on-couch co-op. There's no on or multiplayer co-op, across the internet. So that'll be interesting. It looked really good. It caught my attention right away. It looks fairly good. Anthem, no idea what that was because they showed a .2 second trailer of it and said, "Go check out online," and left. NVA. And then kind of the only big thing they really wanted you to focus on, and they did Star Wars Battlefront 2, which one I have a horrible time with it because it is named after one of my favorite games of all time, Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I hate that. But why can't you just come up with a different name? Why do you gotta solely? It's almost like they're trying to erase the old generation, the old Star Wars from anyone's minds. Just tear down all their statues, put up our statues, and no one will care, and no one will notice. And I hate to say it, but it looks really good. Neebs Gaming was there, and Stone Mountain was there playing it. But they did this weird thing where they were like, we have real people playing. We have real professional Star Wars Battlefront players playing it, telling us what they think. Telling us, hey, I want this changed and I want that changed. And, good for them for getting the community involved. But, if you get the best people playing it, they normally have the good feedback. They're the ones that play it the most and they're the ones that like it the most. So maybe you should have just grabbed random people, an assortment of people, like !E3, where we have a large group of casual and serious players this year, because you open it up to the fucking public, which I'm not sure about. People that had never played it, so you get perspectives of people that just are now picking up quote unquote a video game, quote unquote your video game, and can get you that opinion on it, as opposed to people that have played an extensive amount of your first game, an extensive amount, and know how the controls feel, know what they want from it, and are professional video game players. Get people that are different. That's kind of, you want to bring in a new crop of people. If you bring in only the people that played Star Wars Battlefront, you're going to have a very small crop of people, because a lot of people didn't like it, and you said it so yourself. It looks good. It does. It has a lot of stuff that it's doing right. It's bringing back the class system. It looks beautiful. The Separatists are there. There's heroes. They got a lot of pre-order stuff going on, just like EA you would expect. Just something about it. I think it's mainly the name. Mainly the name's getting me. I have a hard time with it. Sony, this one was really good, but it was the one that I was least pay attention to, because I don't play on PlayStation, so why would I care too much about their press conference? But they had a really solid press conference. Sorry, I have to do things real quick. I forgot about Microsoft's conference. So let's go into Sony's. Hold on, gotta open up Microsoft. We'll go over Microsoft. I kind of forgot about them as well. So they showed off a lot of Call of Duty World War II, which looks better. Looks like they're learning from their other experiments. By experiments, I mean Call of Duties. Looks like they're kind of going back to their roots. And as someone that, one of the earlier video games I can remember playing was Medal of Honor, something Assault, Frontal Assault. Climbing up the beaches of Normandy is kind of nice to see going back to their roots, quote unquote. Days Gone, a lot of people are really excited for this. It's interesting that Sony's still dumping this much money into a zombie game, but from what everyone's saying, it's not a zombie game. It's zombies are just kind of running around doing their thing, and you're running around doing your thing, but it looks kind of on the same caliber as Horizon Zero Dawn did to me, as a big console game. It doesn't look like it would do very well on PC, and I don't think it's coming to PC, but it looked like it'll do really well on consoles, like Horizon Zero Dawn, which got a DLC that it has that word that makes me want to buy it, which is Snow White or White something, and it's all snowy, and I like snow, but I didn't play Horizon Zero Dawn because it's on consoles, and we're just back to that. Destiny 2 got a lot of time, that'll be on PC. I don't know if I'll even buy it. My roommates that all played Destiny together, they don't even know if they'll buy it because it just looks like a rehash of the same thing. Detroit Become Human. This caused a lot of weird controversy I didn't really get at the time, but apparently people are freaking out about it. It's kind of like, hey, what happened if iRobot was real? Kind of vibe. But apparently people are losing their shit. I haven't really gave it 2 seconds, other than 2 seconds I watched it. God of War, of course, everyone's super excited for that. You know, I never played any of the other ones, so it really didn't mean all that much to me. Frozen Wilds, that was the name of the Horizon Zero Dawn DLC. Marvel vs. Capcom got its thing, and if I gave two shits about Marvel, I'd care. I've never seen a Marvel movie in my life. Yeah, other than Deadpool, but I don't count that because it was funded by Fox. Because, yep, I can't stand Marvel. Monster Hunter's World, which apparently is a big thing because it's coming to PC, but it's not a real Monster Hunter game. Apparently, it looked good. Shadow of the Colossus gets a third release, and apparently it's supposed to be built from the ground up better than it was. Spider-Man Homecoming, which apparently is going to be the flagship PlayStation game for a while, came out and it looked like just a shit ton of QuickTime events. Skyrim is coming to VR, and it's going to milk it for as much as it is. I sigh because when we get to Bethesda's conference, I'll explain why I sigh. Just know, keep pumping that cow for as much as we can. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, apparently a spin-off of Uncharted game. Never played any of the Uncharted games because they're all on console. PS VR games, a lot of those. They focused a lot heavier on PlayStation VR. I will say that. I will give them that. They focus a lot on the PC, on the PlayStation VR. Let's just move on to Bethesda since we kind of touched on that. Bethesda's, I stayed up till it was like 10 o'clock before I worked the next morning. And normally I'm in bed by 10, but stayed up till like 10, 11 to watch this damn thing. And it was obvious. It was hands down the worst conference there. Hands down. Then again, I didn't expect anything from them. Going into it, I was like, okay, it's too close to a new Fallout, too close for a new Elder Scrolls game, because they've already said, hey, we're not fucking dealing with Elder Scrolls for a while. What are they going to release? It's probably going to be shit. It's probably just going to be shit. And they tried to do this whole gimmicky thing, and I watched someone who went there, and it looked like they spent a shit ton of money on physical stuff there. But that's all about E3. But it just Dishonored, the Death of the Outsider DLC. You know, Dishonored 2, I never played it, but it looked really good. It did really good. Gets a DLC, so that was probably the least exciting. Doom VFR, virtual fucking reality. They showed that, which just looks like it's going to make you throw up with the teleport system. I will try and play that, but VR and I haven't been playing a lot here lately, mainly because I've been working. But Doom fucking VR, virtual reality. Let me get to the other virtual reality from their conference, and I'll explain my problem with it. Elder Scrolls Online and Elder Scrolls Legends got their day in the sun like they always did. I've been trying to get back. I've been trying to play Elder Scrolls Online to get a review on it, and it's just really hard for me. As a non-MOBA player, it's really hard. Evil Within 2, that was kind of a surprise. I played about halfway through the Evil Within and then watched someone else play all the way through. And it was a fairly mind-bendy game, but it definitely felt like I won it off, so the fact that they're making a second one is interesting, to say the least. Skyrim on the Switch, they're trying that. And Fallout VR. Now, I am excited for Fallout VR. Do not get me wrong. I am excited for VR to keep going, to keep pushing through. My problem with Fallout VR is that it's fucking $60. It's full price. It's a full price game, which means they're charging you again for full price. You had the console version, the PC version, and now this VR version, all at full price. Bethesda is really getting this money-grubbing feeling for me. And Doom VR, I haven't looked, but I almost guarantee that's full price too. So, and plus, the other big news from Bethesda is the fact that they're now trying paid mods again, but we're trying to disguise it. It's not paid mods. You just get these credits from undisclosed ways because we won't tell you that you have to pay for them. You know, a lot of people are speculating that, oh, you'll just get them like you do in the Uplay store. You get credits for playing. You get credits for achievements. Yeah, you know what you get from a fucking Uplay game? You get 10 credits here, 20 credits there, 10 credits here, 10 credits here. To get 50 credits takes forever. So if that's the way they're going to do mods, It's paid mods all again because it'll have transactions to get you those points so you can play modding. And yes, I'm all for, we've gone over this. I've done a video on this. I'm all for modders getting their just due, getting their just money. I follow a couple of them on Patreon. I've given to even more as Patreons, just as flat donations. And that's how you support a modder. And I'm all for them being compatible. I do like that aspect. I really, really do. But the whole, you have to pay for them. Yeah, money, money, money. Bethesda also didn't release how much the modders get. They didn't release, how much the Bethesda themselves get of that percentage that you will ultimately microtransaction to get. And I just finished a video on what's going on with Grand Theft Auto, and it's major bullshit for modders. And it's almost like the gaming industry is cracking down on mods. It's almost like the gaming industry is cracking down on anyone else making money but them. And they're almost the entire gaming industry is trying to get more money than just a standard $60. And we could go back and forth on the argument of whether or not $60 is a fair price for games anymore. And there's arguments to be made on both sides. It's just Bethesda and ultimately Rockstar, we won't dive into them, but Bethesda has always been kind of the flagship game maker for me. I've always really liked them. And after this press conference, I gotta say, they've taken a serious ding in my books, between the press conference being shit, this Fallout VR being full price, this, hey, we're trying to bring back paid mods thing in full price, or paid mods just in general. Bethesda really took a big ding in my mind. It's just a lot of shit. Did they release anything else? Oh, Wolfenstein 2 got a trailer and release. That looked really good. I tried to play the other ones, and I have the German version of one, and never played the other one. I think I played the opening scene. Yeah, the Bethesda one was definitely the worst of all of them, and I'm really disappointed in Bethesda. I didn't even see fucking Todd Howard there. Didn't even see Todd Howard. I'm all for supporting mods, and I'm all for them getting their just due, their daylight. But just, we as gamers don't want to pay for PC as mods. And you can make an argument of whether or not that's wrong. These people put in a lot of work, and I do pay for my mods in different ways. But to make the developer force you to pay for it because, hey, we made sure it's compatible, that's half the fun of modding, is you mod it till it breaks and you fix what was wrong and you keep going. And I think with their releasing it on consoles, they're trying to bring a new generation into modding, and the new generation is coming into modding, and they're like, okay, we need to monetize on this to make money. We need to just pump this full. They're following the Rockstar example of we are under monetizing our games, and I can't. It really hurts me to see that happening. It really, really does. But that maybe is a video for another day. I will keep moving. The PC gaming show, a lot of people don't watch, but I did. We got XCOM is coming back. Age of Empires gets another edition. Total War Warhammer 2, didn't see that one coming. That looks pretty good. Player Battlegrounds gets climbing and vaulting and weather and a new gun. Holy shit, when you have to have a big thing about adding climbing and vaulting to your game, woo, bah. Man, that's pretty crazy. Battletech is getting a single player campaign. That's like this mech game. The folks behind Arma are making lighthearted island survival game. I must have missed that one. I did doze off during the PC gaming show. I will fully admit that. There was nothing going on and I fell asleep. Lawbreakers, Don't Starve, Middle Earth Shadow Mortar. That's where I already saw. It was leaked what they were going to show. And so I fell asleep during that. It looks really good still. I'm still very excited for that one. That's out of all the games, Shadow Mortar or Shadow of War is really what I care about. Killing Floor 2 gets a new DLC. Yeah, Shadow of War looks really good. I'm just curious how the open world is going to work. If it's full open world or if it's not. I'm still very confused by that. But I really enjoyed the first one. I'm really excited for this one. On to Microsoft's Anthem. Or was Anthem the one that had the 0.2 second trailer? One of these games, it was either this one or the other one I talked about earlier, got like a 0.2 second trailer and said, hey, okay, now you got to go online to check us out. We already talked about that. We already talked about Crackdown 3, Dragon Ball Z Fighter Z, Forza Motorsports. Was so disappointed with the last one. Player Battlegrounds Unknown is coming to Xbox exclusive. Life is Strange Beyond the Storm. Metro Exodus, which apparently was said to be open world, and now it's said not to be open world, but it's not linear. So it's going to be a bunch of open world, but not one big cohesive one. I'm guessing is what's going to happen. Um, Sea of Thieves looks like an actual full-fledged game, but they're only going to release it on the Microsoft Store, which I fucking hate using the Microsoft Store. Release it on fucking Steam. State of Decay 2, which looks good. Got a little more information on that. And Super Lucky's Tale. Don't remember what the fuck that was. And yeah, that's all the games, more or less. You know, kind of glossed over a little bit there. Yeah, this E3 was very minor, very minor. I just remembered now that I got back to my capturing. I did want the reason at the beginning of this video there was a small snippet of Batman Arkham Knight. I just wanted to talk about Adam West passed away in this last week, and I do want to send my condolences to his family. And Adam West was my Batman. He was the one I kind of grew up with, not necessarily at the same time period, but it's the one I watched the most of due to my father. I have a copy of a lithograph from Adam West on my wall that my best friend gave me for my high school graduation present. And one of my biggest regrets in life is not going and meeting him at the local Comic-Con. I didn't go see him because his ticket price was very expensive. But now that he's gone, I really regret not doing that. And I very much miss Adam West. The day it happened, the internet was obviously filled with memes and stuff, and each one hurt a little bit more. You know, it's sad to see someone like that go, someone that was very good for the world go. Also, if you did not see, please go check out my Grand Theft Auto video. Go check out, see what they're doing. I won't repeat myself yet again, but please go see it. It's pretty bad, guys. We need to step up and say something. Also, I'm recording this on Thursday, so hopefully nothing happens in the next 3 days that is majorly newsworthy. I apologize. I just need this is when I had some time to get this out. Don't know what we're gonna do for next week's episode, but it should be good. That's what I say for all of them. So as always, that was the news for this week, I guess. It's not Sunday news, it's just my podcast I wanted to talk about. But those were my take on the E3 games. You can see which ones I cared about, which ones I don't. Bethesda made me really sad. But as always, we're all in this one together. I will gladly see you in the next one. Thank you for tuning in this week. I'll see you in the next one, guys. See ya. Oh, and wait. This is just an afterthought that I've been having this last week. I was putting on my master's calendar all the games releases that are coming out. And I think the gaming industry is trying, or at least AAA games are trying to change what days they come out on. Total War 2 comes out on September 28th. November 3rd and 16th, Battlefront 2 and Call of Duty 2 come out respectively. Assassin's Creed 2 comes out in October on the 27th. Those are all Thursdays, and Call of Duty comes out on a Friday. If you don't know, games normally come out on Tuesdays. The only game that I saw that came out on a Tuesday that I put on my calendar is Shadow of Mordor 2, which is kind of a more smaller indie game almost. I know it's not an indie game, but it's a much smaller game, as you know. Just side note, this is just speculation, me being kind of a conspiracy theorist. It would not surprise me if they were trying to move to Thursday so they could give early access on those top 3 days to either A, the press, B, early pre-order bonuses, or B, just to major players to have early access to it. Just a side note, just something to keep in mind. I wanted to talk about it. I kind of forgot about it till after hearing the credits. But yeah, just a little something to keep about, and those are some of the release dates. Thanks again for watching, guys. We're all in this together.